Welcome back to the podcast, boys. We're on episode 142. Let's jump into story time. I'll start us off with stories of the week. This week, school, 4-day week because of Family Day on Monday. Yeah, thanks, Shine. And this week we had I hung out with family on Family Day. I want to know what Justin did on Family Day. I went out for dinner, and it was pretty good. And then this week we had I had like a test. I think I did. I don't know, just like normal school life, nothing too crazy. Yeah, inside joke. All right, Justin, go for it. What did you do on Family Day?
Okay, so for Family Day, honestly, I didn't do much. I was just, I doing a bunch of schoolwork, so just kind of chilling, doing my schoolwork, and then over the long weekend, um, honestly, yeah, just had soccer, had work, tutoring, just kind of like a normal week, to be honest, like just doing my normal stuff. And then today um, we had no school today. And we had no school on Monday as well for Family Day. So, yeah, we've had lots
Pro
of
D
time
Day?
off. Yeah, so we had Pro D Day, and then we had Catholic Schools Week before, so we had Thursday, Friday off last week. So we had like a really long weekend. So no school Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Dang.
Monday, and then this week no school Friday. So lots of time off school. Really nice to just kind of
Yeah, of course.
chill,
It's
do
almost a week off. 5 days.
yeah.
Jeez.
And yeah, so it's nice to have some time off and to just
Yeah.
I don't know, time to yourself, do whatever you want.
To finish my story time, on Monday, Family Day, before I went out for dinner, I had Cheyenne over and Gabriel we've seen as a guest before. We're doing a science project, right? And it's like a grade-wide thing. If you guys are from my school, you know. And basically, we had Gabriel over and Cheyenne. We're doing our science project, right? Gabriel's trying to find my house. And he doesn't remember when he was here where it is. So he is like, I'm on this street, where do I go? And I was like, no, you're on the wrong spot. Go here and then go there. He's like, oh, okay. And then he walks past my house. And basically, we're trying to find Gabriel. He doesn't know where we were. And like, I can't just tell him to go to my house and give him the address because my garage where we're in right now, it's not connected to my house. So it's a bit trickier to come to. And so I said like, yeah, you got to go here, whatever. So then he's actually here, right? And he walks past where we are now, and we're like looking for him. And then he goes to like, I was like, no, you got to go one more down. And he's like, okay. He thinks I'm talking about another street down. So then he finally gets on the right street, but he goes to the wrong like house, and he goes into this guy's like parkway, or like where you park a car park, and he is like looking around, and it's not the house that he is looking for. Eventually he finds my garage, and we're doing the studying. Little did I know that the next day I have a neighborhood WhatsApp thing. There's a photo from a screenshot of a video of Gabriel through a camera lens, and it says, does anyone know this young man, probably around 16-year-old or so, he was here at blah, blah, blah time, and he was just talking, just trying to, like, does anyone know him? Like, my son, my tenant don't know him. And I was like, oh my God, Gabriel. So I sent it to him, and I sent it to Cheyenne. We're all laughing. It's like really funny, obviously. We let them know who it was, and they're like, okay, that makes sense. They're fine with it. And then like Gabriel, like I show it to some people, and I show it to Gabriel, and it goes like the whole grade knows. So there's like, he had like over 10 people come up to him and ask him about it. Like, oh, what'd you do? Like, what'd you do? What's this? What's that? So it's so funny. And like, honestly, it's like something that, could have gone badly, turned out into be a good thing. That was probably my highlight of the week. And playing basketball. Yeah. Are you done your story time?
No, I got
Go for it.
some more to add. So, yeah. So apart from last week and all that, I had school and stuff, and I had a math test. So yeah, what I did is I skipped my first two blocks. I had the philosophy and human geo, and then I had math third block. So I skipped the first two blocks so I could extra studying for math. Just because it's like a big unit, and honestly, like, like my tutor and stuff saying like, yeah, it's just like focus on math. Like that's literally the most important. Like I'm getting A's in pretty much every subject except math and physics. So he's like, you just gotta focus on like what's important and like what like if I had like an extra 2 hours or whatever to study, it would do me a lot better than just sitting in class taking notes in philosophy or human geo. Not that they're not important, but it's just better like time well spent. So I did that, but some of my classmates got screwed over because this guy in my class sent an email, like pretending to be the teacher. And so what he did is on Google accounts, he copied my teacher's profile picture, copied
Oh.
her name, and I guess the email address to be the same.
Well, it
And
can't be the same. Maybe
I don't know
identical.
what it was. Maybe I don't really know. I could probably check. But what he did was he made this fake email, and he sent it. He sent an email out the night before the test, maybe around 10:30, 11, or maybe earlier, maybe around 9. Probably around 10:30. And what he did is he sent it to everyone in our grade, in our math class, like pre-calc, and he sent it to all the classes. And it was basically just saying, hello, students. The test will be postponed to next week. I'm very under the weather and I can't make it in for supervision, so I don't want you
That's
guys to write
so
the test.
ballsy.
And it sounded like like that's like I'm under the weather, okay? And then
Yeah.
I won't make it in. And about the supervision thing, she's pretty strict, so that would like fly. Like that's something that she would say, and that's happened before where she's sick and whatever. They couldn't find someone to fill in, and so we're like, oh shit, like this is probably real. And my friends are texting like in our group chat, and they're like, "Yo, no math test tomorrow, hype, blah 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 blah." And then I'm checking the Google Classroom to check like an answer key because I'm doing it anyways because I saw it till later, like after I did most of my studying. So I'm checking the Google Classroom where all like our answer keys are, the homework, whatever you need to do, and like announcements in the class. And so I'm checking that, and then it says, "Hello class, if you received an email tonight, that is fake. That's not me. There's a test tomorrow. Like, don't listen to the email." And a lot of
Imagine
people.
it's like, no, that's not true.
Yeah, not true. Screw that. But
Fires
basically,
back.
yeah. But she didn't. A lot of people in our class didn't see that, and they had to write the test anyways. And a lot of people got screwed over because they thought, oh shit, no test today, or whatever. I
studying.
don't have to study. And I know a lot of people in my class who didn't study, and they just had to wing it. So, you know, I hope they do well, but I mean that's kind of a shitty
That's so
thing.
funny though.
And he's like, I know the guy who did it. And one of my friends just showed me. He's like, yo, check this out. And he shows the email, and it's like from my teacher, my math teacher. And it's like, yo, you suck at math. Kill yourself. You're a bitch. You should drop out of this class. You don't deserve to be in this class. Like it was like, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like,
Is that what they sent them?
yeah, that's what
Bro.
that's what the math
Yo.
teacher sent my friend. And so we were laughing like, what the hell? I was just like, bro, what the hell? I'm like, bro, you might get in shit just for getting that email.
Yeah, true.
Because like she's gonna say, okay, who sent the email to you? And
Yeah.
then like she's gonna get really mad. So I mean, it's pretty funny, but it's kind of shitty for all the other people that actually missed a test. Because like if it was a nice teacher, maybe she would have, oh okay, the test will be next class because I know a lot of you guys didn't study, blah, blah, but she does not give a fuck. We're taking the test right now. I don't give a shit. Like, that's
Yeah.
basically her
The attitude towards it.
attitude. So, yeah, I hope that somebody did well. Like, I don't know. Like, that's tough. But, I mean, good thing I studied, you know. I'm just like that. So, but, yeah, apart from that, just chill day at school. We had, like, a lab for physics. We had this egg drop lab where you, like, you're supposed to, like, take an egg and you have to, like, make a contraption to, like, save it from breaking.
I'm doing that in engineering right now.
What I did is originally, this is pretty funny too. Originally, like it was really dumb because they didn't really give us much instruction like what to do for the lab, and so everyone was just like, "Oh, are we doing it in class? Like, are we making it home then bring it to class? Like, what's going on?" And so we're just like, "Oh shit! Like, we'll probably just do it in class," and that ended up not being the case, and we were supposed to like bring an egg and the contraption from home, and I hadn't done it, and a lot of other people hadn't done it, and so a lot of people like some people did it at lunch, and some people just did it in the class. But what I did, I was like, oh shit, I don't have a contraption, and one of my friends like, yo, you just use mine, it's chill. And so what I do is everyone's dropping their eggs. Like some of them are breaking, some of them are like chill, some of them are like surviving. And my friend drops his, and it worked. And then I'm like, yo, can I please borrow yours? Like quickly, I didn't have one, whatever. Like mine's not here. And he's like, yeah, sure. So what I did is I like put tape over it. And a lot of people have like the same designs. Like the one that most people use, like a triangle thing, and the other one is like a big cone that people use. And so I used the triangle one, and then I'm like, yo, like, just, like, let me use this, whatever. And so I take an egg, put it in the thing, and what I did is I taped the contraption so it looked, like, different, kind of. And then my teacher's like, hey, we've already seen this one. He's like, I know this isn't yours. I'm like, no, trust. Like, this is mine. Yeah, dead ass, this is mine, like, trust. And then he's like, no. He's like, where's the other one then? And I'm like, oh, shit. And the class clutched up, bro. They're like, oh, no, the other one's over here. And they hold up one that looks similar. Yeah, this is the one that dropped before. Justin's, that's his.
Oh, my God.
So, like, thank God for the class.
Dang.
And then after all that, I dropped the egg, and it just fucking breaks, bro. I'm like, oh, shit. But the other thing that was really funny in that lab.
Kind of karma.
Is one of my friends had a rubber egg.
Oh, my God.
And so what we did is we switched the normal egg for a rubber egg. And this is really funny because he's supposed to inspect the egg before. And there's like some other like funny things. A lot of people didn't have eggs, so they went to the cafeteria and they're like, yo, do you guys have eggs? And so they bought like one egg from the caf, right, for like $1 or something. I don't know how much, maybe $1, maybe 25 cents. So they buy the egg and they drop it and it's not breaking, and everyone's like that definitely should have dropped. Like it dropped on its side and the egg was like exposed and it didn't break, and people are like, what the hell? And so someone cracks it open. It ends up being a hard-boiled egg, and then my teacher's like, yeah, you failed the lab. He's like, I don't care. And so the funny thing is with a rubber egg, my friend had made this contraption and it looked like really good. It looked like, okay, this is gonna work, and he's gonna pass, whatever. And so he puts the egg in. And my friend's like, yo, I got the rubber egg. We'll switch it out. We'll do like a switch. And so he puts the rubber egg in instead of the real egg, and he's got the real egg in his pocket, and then he drops it. And the thing is super thin. It's like made of paper, right? And so the sides are super thin. It's kind of like a cone like this, right? And it falls on the side of the cone, and the thing starts bouncing. Like, it was like, boom, the contraption. Oh. And we were like, no way, bro. Eggs don't bounce. I think that shit would have cracked immediately. And then my teacher is like, oh, let's see the egg. And so what my friends do is I'm filming it.
Last second.
They go around, and let's say the teacher's like on my left-hand side here. He turns around, and we like swap the eggs out, puts the egg in his pocket. Oh, teacher, I passed. Like, you wouldn't believe it. And he's like, oh, no, he's like, I definitely didn't. And he's like, check your pocket. Like, what's in your pockets? And he's like, he pulls out his phone. Oh, it's my phone. No, the other thing. Oh, no, that's my wallet. No, there's one more thing in there. He's like, what is that? He's like, that's my penis, bro. He's like, what? He's like, no. He's like, why are you looking there, bro? That's weird. And then I think he knew, but he's just like, oh, I don't care. He like passed him for it. It was just so funny. But honestly, like, that class is like so chill. Like, he honestly doesn't care. And he's really smart. Like, the teacher has like he's like this Romanian guy, and he's got like I think he's got like, he's got like multiple degrees in science, and he's so overqualified to be a teacher. And he's a really like chill guy. Like, he always says life is beautiful, and like if you write that on your test, like sometimes he'll give you like bonus marks for it. But
damn.
Life is beautiful.
I gotta write that on my math test now, bro.
But yeah, so, and then I had parent-teacher interviews this week, and that's why I didn't have school today as well. So yeah, we did parent-teacher interviews with my math teacher. It was pretty chill. And then I went to the same guy, that physics teacher. And then it was pretty funny. He asked me, he's like, and my dad's right here. Like, me and my dad are going. And, like, you can go to the parent-teacher interviews, or you can the parents can go. But my dad's like, oh, like, you have to come or whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go, and I don't have a time booked with my physics teacher. And normally you're supposed to, like, book online or send them an email or something. But, we just couldn't get it because it was super booked. So my dad just kind of, like, went into the class, and he's like, oh, like, see if I can get a spot. And so he ends up being available, and we go in. And he's just talking. He's like, yeah, like, sort of the same stuff as last parent-teacher that we talked about, blah, 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 blah. And then he just throws this, like, question out of nowhere. He's like, Justin, do you get overwhelmed when people do better than you? And I was like, what?
What?
I was like, and I was kind of like choked up. I'm like, this guy's like throwing shots at me. Like, what? You say I'm not, like, you saying I'm bad or something? And then I'm just like, what do you mean by that? Like, I'm like,
Elaborate.
yeah. And then he's like, yeah, do you get overwhelmed when other people are doing better than you or getting a better mark? And I'm like, yeah, like, of course. Like, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to, like, not succeed on my test. And he's like, yeah, well, I could tell. I'm like,
I don't get overwhelmed.
what the
Like,
fuck?
he's
Like,
saying that your classmates' scores, you can get upset that they get a good.
yeah, and I'm like, well,
I don't.
I was just like, well, yeah, I'm a competitive person. Like, obviously, I don't want to do poorly on my test. Like, but I'm like, I was just I was kind of like shocked. I was like, what? Like, what is this guy saying? And then he's like, well, does it, like, he's talking to my dad, and he's like, what university, like, what do you want to go into? I'm like, oh, I want to go into business. And he's like, well, physics, you don't really need it. I'm like, what? And then he's like, yeah, the only thing that you need, pre-calc, 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 pre-calc. And he's like, if this was the order of whatever most important, first pre-calc, second pre-calc, third pre-calc, fourth pre-calc,
What
five
the
pre-calc, six pre-calc, seven pre-calc, and eight, then you can do physics, like, last. But he's like, pre-calc is the most important if you want to go to business.
I would
I'm
have
like,
been so
what the
That
hell?
would have been so weird.
And my dad's just kind of like, my dad's laughing. And, like, we leave the interview, and we're just like, okay, whatever. And my dad's just like, what? My dad's like, this guy's strange. He's like, what's going on? But, yeah, it's kind of just weird. Like, it kind of pissed me off because he's basically just, like, he's saying that I was doing shit, kind of. Or, like, it was like a,
He said it in a nice way.
well, it was like a subtle shot that I was
Yeah, of
like,
course.
he's like, you get over what? Like, what? How the hell am I supposed to respond to that? Like,
Yeah, how?
yeah, like, I hate when people, like, ask you questions that, like, it's like, how the fuck am I supposed to answer this? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like subtly, like, dissing me, and it just pissed me off because I'm like, bro, obviously I don't like when I do shit on a test. Like, that's a fucking no-brainer, bro. Like, I don't know, it pissed me off a little bit, but yeah, apart from that, that was pretty much my story time, so.
All right, let's go on to topics. So, do you have any topics?
I don't.
What's this guy doing here?
Okay, yeah, this is one more thing I forgot to
Yeah, you
mention.
just have him here.
I just have him posted up on the yesterday,
Insert
so Thursday. I watched Surf's Up with my sister and my mom, and Surf's Up is like, we used to watch it a lot when we were kids, and we always make jokes about it. Like, I don't know, like, you know when you have jokes with your family that, like,
Yeah.
they just come from nowhere, or like it's been so long ago, but they just kind of stick.
Just natural.
Like stuff with like references like to With the Grain when he's carving the board, or like just stuff about Chicken Joe, and like those are just kind of like jokes that have like, I don't know, remained. But we hadn't watched the movie in like years and years, so my sister's like, yo, we gotta rewatch it, and so I ended up watching it again, and it's such a good movie. Like I realized like why it's such a good movie and like how much I love the movie. To like summarize the plot, it's kind of like, I'm not gonna try to spoil it, but there's like a big surf contest, and they're all penguins, and so there's a big surf contest at this island, and basically they get all these penguins from like all the different islands. Like this guy, Cody Maverick, like the main guy's from Shiverpool, and they get all the guys, and he surfs like an ice board, and like no one surfs there, whatever. And then they do, there's like a scout that comes by, and he gets like chosen. He doesn't get chosen. He just like jumps on the ship basically and goes to that like big surf competition, and basically they surf, and then the best like wins the trophy or whatever. And there's this one guy, the like the antagonist. His name's Tank Evans, and he's like this big fucker who's like super good at surfing. But he's a bitch, and so like there's all like the little kids learning to surf, and he like snaps their boards and like pushes them in.
It's an average cartoon bully, bro.
Yeah, and they're like, what the hell, man? Tank Evans a bitch. And so then this guy, Cody, like he idolizes this guy named Big Z, because basically when he was a kid, Big Z came to his like hometown and gave him this necklace and like, never give up, man. Like, you got it. Like, you can do anything you want in your life. And he like never took the necklace off or whatever, and that's why he started surfing. And basically he ends up meeting Big Z, and he ends up like showing him how to surf, and Big Z like was like supposed to be like dead from this big surf accident, but he ended up like faking his own death and like living like off the grid, I guess. And yeah, it sounds like a weird movie trying to explain it, but it's honestly, it's a really good movie.
I watched it.
And yeah, after like not seeing it for years, I remember like how much I love it. Like even like this, I think it was 2007 when it came out. But honestly, like the
I didn't
graphics,
watch it in
like the
2007.
yeah, I didn't either. But the waves, like even like the water looks so like good for like an old
Well, Cars, look at
movie.
Cars.
So
It's like 2009, 2008 Cars.
yeah,
No, 2006.
2006 was the first one.
Yeah.
2008 or 9
I
was
think
the
it's
second.
11 was the second
Yeah, maybe
one.
11, 6, 11, and whatever the third one.
2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like good for that time as well.
So yeah, honestly, it's a really good movie, and I'm so happy that I watched it because it's like it's like a part of my childhood. You know what I mean? Like all these small like references.
Yeah. Well, I watched Harry Potter again. I told you that was
Yeah.
pretty good. I mean, they got Hogwarts Legacy out. I don't know.
Mhm.
I gotta look into that. It looks pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen like videos of people playing it. And there's ads. There's lots of ads for it too, like on.
Yeah. I've seen a big ton of ads.
Yeah.
What company owns it? Is it like Ubisoft or Activision?
I don't know. That's a good question. Cause there's so many like I don't know like licensing like rights and shit. Cause like you know like Spider-Man, there's like
Sony.
Sony, and then like there's stuff with like PlayStation and like
Mhm.
how like they both made movies like Marvel and whatever, and like how they're both making movies and shit. But I don't know what that comes to in terms of like video games, especially for like big franchises like Harry Potter and stuff. If both, I don't know if there's multiple companies involved with like licensing and all that, but yeah.
All right, let's move on to topics. Okay, yes. What is it?
Avalanche Software.
Oh, Avalanche. That's a pretty big one. Yeah. All right. Makes sense. And each like company has its own style.
Yeah.
So like Activision, but at the same time, it's not like Activision is like Call of Duty, and like a lot of that time, it's like pretty similar games, right?
And
But then there's
Skylanders.
Skylanders.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like not even. Epic has
Epic
okay.
Games.
Epic like Rocket League, Fortnite. That's like the same style.
Well, no, buying games
Cartoony.
and making games are different.
Yeah, but they adapted Rocket League into Epic Games, and that changed a lot of it, I'd say. All right, let's go on to topics. This month is Black History Month, and I say that with dramatic effect because it's like a pretty big topic for me. I'm not just doing that to be a drama queen. So, okay, for me, this month, I don't know about you, but I've found Black History Month to be like not as big as it once was in the past like year or two. I don't know what your school does, but for my school, Black History Month, it's shoved in your face like all over the place as much as they can. And this was the this is the first year that we had a assembly based off of this. There's nothing that is like controversial about this assembly. There's no false information going around, nothing like that. It was just a boring assembly in my opinion. But besides from that assembly, the Black History Month has been like not as big as it has been in like a past year or two. In my school at least. I don't know about outside of that. So my opinion on Black History Month is that I don't see a need for it. I understand where people are coming from when they say it's important, and I understand why, because quite honestly, black people have gone through a lot as a race, and I think that the month is, I get why they would want the month. I just don't agree with it because they're saying, Black history, you got to learn about it. It's like what I talked about, how my school shoves it in your face saying Black history, learn about it. That's what they say every single day. I'm not exaggerating at all. If you're from my school, you know what I'm talking about. And it's not something that I think. So here's an argument I have. If there's Black History Month, well, why isn't there White History Month? Why isn't there Asian History Month? Why isn't there Latino or Latina History Month? Because all races have been through a lot. There's a whole thing in 2020 about Asian hate, or was that 2021? Asian hate, something like that. This stuff, to me, black people and Asian people, there's no like level to it. I don't put black people up here and then Asian people over here in terms of discrimination. I view race as all equal. I don't view anyone differently in a negative way because of their race. I don't feel the need to have a Black History Month because it's leaving out all the other races. Oh, well, black people have been through so much. Sure, but it's not the same because you're leaving out all the history of like what Asian people had to go through, what Hispanic people had to go through. The list goes on. So there's that. Just to put this out there, if you think Black History Month is a good thing, it's not one of those opinions that I sit here and I get frustrated about. If you like Black History Month and you think it's cool, whatever, I don't view you any differently. This is just my opinion. It's not like people that have to include pronouns. Like, if you think that that's necessary, like, honestly, I think that opinion is really stupid and you're probably an idiot. That's a whole different thing, right? You know what I'm talking about, when you hear opinions and you just cannot respect those people. All right, it's like saying, "Oh, I'm a Nazi." Like, fuck you. Like, you're horrible then. It's not like one of those. Like, I respect if you think that it's great, whatever. I don't really care too much. The thing that I don't like is that how it's so forced. You have to learn about it. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, 90% of the people do not care. That's not true, but a lot of people do not care. And I don't know. I just don't think Black History Month should be a thing. I think it's leaving out other races, and I just do not think ultimately that it's necessary to have. I don't see any value in it. And obviously, I didn't really think this through. I just kind of said this, and I'm probably leaving out a lot of my opinion that I've thought about before. But of course, I can't remember it now when the camera's out and it's time for me to share it. So what do you think of Black History Month?
Yeah, okay, so my take's I think my experience with it is a lot different from yours. So I go to a private Catholic school, and so the whole thing with equality, like gay Pride Month, Black History Month, all of that, like feminism, there's not much of that in our school at all. In fact, we haven't had any assemblies, we haven't had any announcements. I didn't even you barely even know that it is Black History Month at our school, because it's just
That's good.
It's not addressed. In the same way that even gay pride isn't addressed. Like, our school is very conservative and sort of old fashioned in that way, where they don't really acknowledge it.
My school is very liberal.
However, the one thing that they do acknowledge a lot is First Nations and First Peoples, and that is very prevalent in our school. And so my perspective from yours is very different because of how differently our schools and sort of our environments treat it.
Of course.
In my opinion, I agree with what you say, because I think if you give Black people a month, a whole month of Black History, blah, 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 it's almost, you're not fighting for
putting it over the other
exactly,
races.
And you're not fighting for equality, you're fighting for superiority. And so in the same way that feminism fights for women's rights, to an extent, it's here now. Now it's here.
Well, nowadays feminism,
because now feminism is above it's not equality.
That's what
point.
the modern feminism is a woman
it's
over men.
Superiority.
Now, back in the day, it's great.
Yeah,
women
fight
should
for
vote.
Equality,
right.
Yeah. But the same thing for, I think, Black History and all these months. I don't know. I think just Black History is the only one. But I think that everyone should be equal. And if you give some you're valuing a race higher. Oh, they need a month of history and pride, and they need to acknowledge where their roots. That's great. Go for it. But I don't think that it needs to be not forced upon or even acknowledged, because it should be like that all the time. You should always be able to learn about your history, and it shouldn't be dedicated to a month.
And I agree with that as well. Yeah.
I think that you should always having the month is cool, just like you have Canada Day, right? You're just celebrating the
Maybe
country.
give it a day.
But I don't think I think learn about it, and maybe the day helps you commemorate or you think about it more, and having that marked in your calendar, maybe it's good for you. But for me personally, I don't look to it the same. That I'm not Black, of course, so I can't really talk on it the same. But for me, even with Canada Day, it's not on July 1st or whatever. I'm thinking
Canada Month.
Yeah, I'm not Canada Month, or I'm not thinking about it that often. So maybe from their perspective, it's good to think about it. But I think if it's your culture and it's your roots and where you come from, you would already have that in your mind. You'd always be thinking about that. So that's just my take on that.
Tell us your thoughts on the month, and I'm curious. The month of February, there's Valentine's Day, there's Family Day. There's some good stuff in February. I don't know. Well, there's that topic. I guess we'll move into Copper Drop, since that's our big topic of the episode, the big topic of the week. And I will pull up. I got a lot of copper drops. We could be here for a little bit. First up, got the new Tatums. The Jordan Tatums came out. Zoo. This is the first texture or colorway, I guess you could say, of the Jordan Tatums. Jordan Tatum ones. So I'm gonna say cop. I like the style of it, and I like the color. And I'm saying cop because it's a basketball shoe. I wouldn't just cop this. I think if it was like a normal shoe.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Yeah, honestly, I'd say drop on this colorway because I saw you scrolled by and I saw some of the colorways. But honestly, as a shoe, not too bad because most of the thing that Jordan comes out with now is just not very good and not as competitive, especially with Nike and Adidas and all these bigger brands that also have sponsorships and partnerships with other athletes. But for Jordan and like an actual good like I like that. I like that endorsement. Jason Tatum's a great player. And yeah, I think that's cool to have him as your flagship model, right? You have the Jason Tatum. Yeah, so honestly, I'm happy. Like, good for him. Like, I like the shoe. That colorway, personally, just not my style. But yeah, I'd say drop on this one. But the other colorways, for sure, I'd say cop. So
Well, we got 7 more.
okay,
St. Louis. I don't know why it's called this. Maybe
That's
because
the
of
one.
the colors?
yeah, that's the one I'd say cop on because I like those colors.
I'd cop.
So, yeah.
I'd cop. Okay, next one. We got barbershop. Where do these names come from? I get the first one, but this one's like pretty similar to. It's like reversed.
Flip.
Yeah, I'll say cop. I like this one better
I think
than the first one.
It just looks pretty much the same, to be honest.
Ooh, pink lemonade. I like that. I'm copping pink lemonade.
I'd say drop just because like the heel is like it's more like a sandy color. Like if it was like I don't know, it just looks too like muted. I guess.
I get it.
don't know.
Do you like pink lemonade?
I do.
Yeah. Oh. What Oh, this is the bottom of it.
Ooh.
Oh, so yeah, you can see the grip there. Why is there a hole in the?
I think it's
Is it see through?
Yeah, so a lot
That's
of
kinda
the
weird.
times they have like the bubble unit or like
Oh,
the air
true,
unit
true.
in the shoe there.
So here's all of them.
Yeah, the
You're
blue one's still the
copping.
best. The white or blue one or whatever.
I like the pink lemonade the best. I mean, it's not like I like it just 'cause it's like unique, but it's not too
Yeah.
flashy.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
basketball shoes, right? So it's like
Yeah.
you got so much leeway. Okay, if I'm gonna rank them, pink lemonade, the white ones, barbershop, and then zoo last. It's funny how I remember the names. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what is zoo like? That's like a weird texture. It's like, yeah. So what do
Okay,
you?
so I'd do the white one, St. Louis. Then I'd do the pink lemonade.
Yeah.
And then I would do barbershop, and then I would do
Nice.
zoo.
So it's like the same, but
Yeah,
just
except the
blue
first tier
first.
switch. Yeah.
nice. That's the bottom of all of them. All right,
Yeah.
I'll send this to you. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Was that recently that happened? Or you got-
Yeah. This was on Monday.
Okay, because I saw a thing. It was him,
He's
and
rocking
it was
the zoo.
Deuce and him, and they were like holding up the shoes and like, I mean, good for him. That's cool.
Nice. Actually, you know what? I forgot to say that. I'll just do this. This is a TSM jacket, pro jacket, sweater. Sorry, this is what they wear, I guess, in the gaming. Here's the back of it. The gaming things. There's more, but I'm just gonna show these ones. Okay, so this is tricky because like I like the jacket, or sorry, the sweater. I like the style of it, but I wouldn't want to wear something that's like, hey, I'm a gamer. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like that's the opposite of a flex for me. Is like, hey, I'm a gamer. If anyone's like, some people ask me that, and I'm like, dude, I play video games now and then.
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking G Fuel addict. Like,
Yeah.
so, just for that, I'm gonna say drop. But I like it though.
I think like the style of like racing jackets is cool. Like,
Mhm.
have you seen some of the vintage racing
Yeah.
jackets? And like, we've
Yeah.
went over those
Yeah, they're
before.
cool. They're cool.
I think now, I'm like I think racing jackets are cool. Like even the old ones, but I wouldn't per se
old
wear
ones
them.
are the coolest.
For these ones, I just think like it's too many logos, and it's sort
Yeah,
of
I see
like
that.
you said, it's like, oh hey, I'm a gamer. I like TSM. Like,
Twitch, Geeko,
I'm not trying to like,
Logitech.
I'm not trying to rip that. Like I'm not
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to show everyone, hey, like
I play
like,
video. I
I
love
like Twitch. I go and Google, or you know what I mean? Like Logitech.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to like
Yeah.
show that outwardly. So
Yeah.
just for that reason, I'd say drop. So
Yeah, I'm gonna say I said drop.
Mhm.
So okay, is that all? Oh well, this is new.
oh, I
This
saw that. So,
gas leak in Vancouver, downtown by JJ Bain. No, it's like it's an apartment.
JJB. You made it sound like high class. JJB.
Yeah, this is. It's
You
an
know that
apartment.
was? Okay, so I live in a apartment, and you can see like across the water to like downtown. And my dad was saying like he was on the phone on like some business meeting, and he was like just like he I don't know why he does it. He always like stands and like looks out the window whenever he's on the phone.
It's a nice ass view.
But he was on the phone, and he said he's like I saw like this big orange flame coming across. He's like I saw this big orange light come up. He's like I didn't know what it was though. And then he's like he checked the news, and there's like some big gas leak, and it like blew up or something. And I could see what I saw is like all the lights, like the sirens and stuff, like caught fire and all that. So yeah.
Damn. All right, that is gonna wrap up the episode. It's been 142. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.